Hello, Stampin' friends, and welcome. I hope you all had a wonderful Christmas and getting ready for New Year's. This is Dee Osburn, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. Today, we will be taking our scraps and we'll be making some thank you notes. It's that time of year. We have a new catalog coming. We made cards all year long, and we have lots of scraps left over, and I'm going to show you what I do with my scraps, how I keep them, and how to use some up to make some great thank you notes. It is that time of year to be grateful, right? We're thinking about going into a new year, and there's so many things to be grateful for. We've had a couple of tough years, but it's important to remember the things and the people that are important to us and that we're grateful for. You can send thank you notes for anything. I think that people think that sometimes the only time you might send a thank you note is when someone gives you a gift. Well, that's true. You should always send a thank you note when someone gives you a gift. And we just got done with Christmas, so it's a great time to send those kinds of thank you notes. But we can also send thank you notes just to tell people how grateful we are that they're in our lives. Slip one under your husband's pillow or your wife's pillow or your significant other's pillow or in their suitcase if they're going somewhere, or just hand them one and tell them how much you love and respect them and how grateful you are they're in your lives. You can send them to your friends, people who are far away. You could send a thank you note for pretty much anything. Thanks for all the work that you did at Christmas. Thanks for the great Thanksgiving meal. Thanks for wonderful dinner last night. Thanks for coming over and hanging out and having a hot beverage with me. And the list goes on and on. I love to send thank you notes, and this is a great way to use up some of our scraps that we've collected throughout the year. So if you like this content, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell so you can be notified when I upload more videos. And I absolutely love getting comments. So if you leave me a comment, I'll be sure to comment back to you. Everything that you're going to need to do this, all the sizes and everything, will be listed in the description below. All right, so this is what I do to, let's get started here, right? This is what I do to store and keep all of my scraps. What I do is your paper comes in a plastic, you know, I don't want to say bag, but it's wrapped in plastic. And so when I open it, I just cut the top of it off and I keep the white cardboard piece or brown cardboard, whatever it comes in, and it makes this great little bag. And so I stick all my scraps inside of it. And what a great little way to keep all of these. And so what we're going to do is we're going to pull out some scraps. I've already done that, and I'll show you what I've pulled out. But I'm going to show you the process that I went through to do that. Stampin' Up! Has wonderful paper that coordinates. And on most of our papers, not all of them, but on most of our papers, the front and the back coordinate. So you pull out a scrap and you can just do like this and see, oh, those two coordinate really well together. I could make a card with that and use up this piece of scrap. You can do that with pretty much all of our papers. Let's see. You could have this stripe go this way, or you could have the stripe go this way. These two coordinate really nicely together and make a really super cute little card. So you just go through your scraps, pull them out. See, look how wonderful that coordinates. You could make a card with that. And the one piece will make the card. Here's another one. See, this one you might have a little bit more trouble with because of the way I cut it. So you might have to do something a little different with this one. But all of these just work so well together. Look at that. There's a card, right? Now, let me show you what I mean by there's a card. All right, so I took a bunch of scraps. Let me put this away. I went through here and I pulled out a bunch of stuff. You see a nice little bag full of scraps here. And I pulled out some scraps. And then I matched it to coordinating cardstock. And we're going to put together these cards today. Let's see, which one shall we do first? Okay, so here's one. I used Calypso Coral cardstock, and I cut it at 8.5 by 5.5, and it's scored at 4.25. And then you would cut a white piece to put in here, and the white piece would be measured at 4 by 5.25. Okay, so you just go in 1/4 inch. Then I found a piece of scrap and I cut it at 5.25 by 4, just like your inside would be. And we're going to adhere that down. All right, so let's do that. Let me grab my glue. So grab our glue. I keep my glue in a little shot glass, and I glued the top down. Someone told me about doing that, and I thought it was very clever. And then I keep a safety pin kind of just with the shot glass, so that if my glue doesn't work, I can poke it and make it work. All right, so we're going to, this one's getting kind of empty, put our glue on here, and we're going to adhere it down. I love this paper. This is old paper. It was just a scrap. Our new catalog is coming out January 1st. So I want to use up some of my scraps and make way for all the new beautiful paper that's coming out. So then I took a couple of die cuts. This one is a stitched round. This one's just a regular round. And I believe, let's see, this one, let's measure it. Okay, so this one is, looks like about 2 and I'm going to say almost 2.5. And I cut this piece. I just cut a piece of matching cardstock, Calypso Coral, and I cut that out. Okay, and then I took the stitched one, and I believe it measures about 2.25, and I stamped a thank you. This thank you right here. This came from Rose Wonder, but any thank you will work. This one comes from All of Us, and it says thanks. So it just depends on, which one you like. Use what you have. Let's see, this thanks came from the stamp set from All of Us, which is super cute. And I'll be doing a video using that stamp set, maybe the next one, but very soon. So anyway, I stamped the thank you, and then I cut it out, and we're going to adhere that onto there. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, and we'll put that on here. Get it nice and centered. And then I'm going to take a little bit of gold cord, and I'm going to take my glue dots and some dimensionals. All right, so here's my glue dots. Oh, these are older ones. These are the ones that are on top. I loved when Stampin' Up! Put their glue dots on top. So much more. Because you could just hold it like this, and there you have your glue dot, right? And another glue dot on the back. And that one doesn't seem to want to come off. So I'll just take it off with my scissors and put it on there. Then I'm going to take my gold cord, and I'm going to wrap it around my fingers. And I wanted it kind of big. And let's see. I think I want it to come out to the right. So I'm going to adhere it on here on the back. Stick it to the glue dots. Okay, so that it's stuck on there good. And this one's not on the glue dot, so let's put that one on there. Okay, so now, this one doesn't want to cooperate with me. Get on there. There you go. All right, so now I'm going to put some Stampin' Dimensionals on the back of here, and I'm going to do 3 of them. so that it doesn't, rock around when I put it on there. So take the back of that off, and then I'm going to flip it over, and you can have, oops, your thank you, the gold coming out like that. I think I want it to come down a little more, so I'm going to move this. Once you flip it over, you can kind of see how you like it. Oh yeah, that's better. Okay. This one I think is a little longer than I would like it to be. This is the beauty of doing everything behind the scenes, right? Because then you know what you like and how you want it to turn out. There, I think I like that. And then you just push it down onto your card. And there you have a nice, beautiful, simple thank you note. So that's one using scraps. Okay, now I have another one where I used some more scraps, and again, I did the exact same thing, except I changed up the card front just a little bit. So I took my Calypso coral, and so I just had one sheet, so I cut it in half, and it's 8.5 by 5.5, and I scored it at 4.25. That's my card base. Then I took a piece of this paper, right? And I liked the coordinating, back side of it. That was the back and the front, right? Or the front and the back, however you want to look at it. And I thought, oh, I like that together. So I cut each of these at 5.25 by 3.75. And that gives me enough space to put them together. So I'm going to put just a thin line right there. And then so that I can kind of measure and have it on here like I want. I'm not gluing this down. I'm just using my card base as a guide because that's kind of where I want the bottom, to be like that. And then I'm going to take my top one and I'm going to put it on it and move it up to where I want the top to be. There we go. And then there's my card front. I'm going to use this piece so because I don't like, that's just to me too, it's like a seam, like that cuts you across the middle on a dress. I don't like that. So we're going to spice it up just a little bit. And first, before I do that, well, I guess I could do it now. So we're going to glue this down. And you can decide if you want it to be, down a little bit so you see more birds, or if you want it up more so you see more of the bottom piece. You can decide. There's plenty of wiggle room there, right? Plenty of creative room there. So now I'm going to turn it over and I'm going to glue it to my card base. Such a simple, fast, you can whip out a whole bunch of thank you notes like this. Just get out your scraps, look at the fronts and backs. You just cut them down. I cut the original piece, I cut at, I believe I cut it at 4.25 by probably 6. And then that way I could cut it so that I had a little overlap. Okay, so I think that is so pretty. And so now I'm going to use a piece of Calypso coral, and I'm going to use the same thank you, the same dies that I used before, and I'm going to adhere this on. To there. Oops, that moved on me. There we go. Okay, then I'm going to turn it over. I'm going to put a couple of glue dots on there. I kind of look and see where I want it. Get my gold cord. wrap it around, and I want it to come out like that. So I want it to be kind of like that. So right there, glue dot, and right there, glue dot. I might need one more glue dot to hold this little end down here. So I don't want that poking out. And I'll snip that one off. And I'll turn it over and see, I just love that. You can just kind of arrange it how you like it. Then I'm going to put my dimensionals. I'm going to use 3 of them. One, and I'm not going to put it on the cord because then it's not going to lie on the card, right? It'll be kind of wobbly like, right? Okay, so I'm going to take the backs off. And I stamped this with Memento ink. And then I'm just going to put that, I think I want it down a little more, like right there. It's like the little birds are sitting on it. And oh, so cute. So there's another quick and simple and easy thank you. And you could put some bling on here if you wanted. Even down here, if you have some, use up the last couple of little bling gems that you have or whatever, you can always, step it up by doing that. So there's 2 quick and easy ones. And then the last one that we're going to do it the same way. I used this paper, and this was 2 different pieces of paper. Here I had 2 scraps, so I could actually, use make 2 of this card with these 2 pieces of scrap. But I just loved the rose, and I thought, oh, I just kind of really love that. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put a little glue across the top of this one. I'm going to put it on here like I want it, like I think it's going to be when I glue it down completely. And then I'm going to put this on here and slide it up where I, so that it fits on my card base the way I want. Okay. And I'm going to glue that down. So fast and easy. You could whip out so many of these and use up your scraps. Give yourself your craft room a little bit of room for some newer stuff, and don't hold on to your scrap paper. I mean, share it, right? Make a card and share it and show other people how beautiful it is. Then I took a piece of black, and the measurements will be in the description below. This is just a little piece of black cut at 3/4 of an inch by 4 1/4. And I put it right across there. And then I took a piece of black and cut the larger circle. And then I stamped thank yous, the same thank you, and the stitched circle. I'm going to glue that on there. That nice and centered like we like it. Okay, put a couple of glue dots on the back. You may have to add another glue dot like we did last time. Take your gold cord, gold trim I think is what this is called. And again, I like it to come out this way. If you want it to come out this way, put it on the other side. Yeah, that is completely up to you. You create your card the way you want it to be. So I kind of want it like this. So we'll just get it adhered down. I will need one more glue dot, it looks like. Put one right there. Okay, and then I'm going to put my dimensional. I like to use 3 when it's a round one. Okay. Keep it from wobbling. And then you figure out how you want it and adhere it down. so pretty and elegant. I think this one's really elegant. So here they are. There's the 3 that I did. Let me put this one in the middle, kind of break up that calypso coral just a little bit. There we go. Quick and simple. I made 3 of these in such short time and used up a whole bunch of my scraps. And you could sit down for watch your favorite TV show, cut up a whole bunch of your scraps and make a whole bunch of thank you notes, and then sit there and write inside them and mail them off and tell people how much you appreciate them and the things that they do and how glad you are that they're in your life. So again, all the dimensions will be in the description down below. If you liked this, please like, share, and subscribe, and leave me a comment. Let me know that you subscribed. I will make sure to comment back. You can visit my website if there's anything that you need at www.deebeststamping.stampinup.net. And remember that all orders of $40 or more will receive a bonus gift. And you will get a beautiful thank you card with a little bonus gift in it because I appreciate all of you and your business. And I hope that you have a happy new year and let's be grateful. Have a great day. See you next time.